Alright, good morning YouTube. Today is going to be a bit of a shorter video. It's going to be on the Duramax and a bit of a last video on the Duramax for a while, as I do not have it with me. So in this video we're gonna cover this off-road suspension that I put on this thing and basically give it my personal honest review and what I've experienced with it over the last couple years, and ultimately what it's capable of and what it's not capable of doing. So stick around, and you're gonna want to hear about this suspension and see what its limitations are and where it really shines. I'm just gonna kick things off by saying what I have done to the truck. So this one, I've done all the work myself. It has a 4.5-inch coilover lift kit with Fox suspension. It's all adjustable. It has 35-inch BFG KO2 tires. I built some traction bars for it. It has all the basic EGR delete, has a 5-inch exhaust, big air-to-air piping. Under the hood is pretty stock, upgraded steering parts, and transfer case brace, and that pretty much covers all the main work I've done to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the negatives out of the way. Even with all the work done to it, at the end of the day it's still a truck, and that has limitations on its own. One of those limitations is weight. So being such a heavy truck, it has a hard time crawling up those steeper inclines, and ultimately that affects ride quality with the rear leaf springs being stock as well. Another big thing is the length of the truck. So it makes for hard 30-point turnarounds, and also it seems to get high centered on a lot of bumps where smaller vehicles won't have an issue getting over. And another thing is it is wide, so you're always rubbing on trees, and honestly your paint won't last that long if you're going to be playing in the trails. Alright, so if you can look past the size and the weight, which is going to be a negative of any truck, there is some big positives of doing this conversion kit on your Duramax. And let me start by saying the positives do not lie on the road. On the road, or going normal speeds on the trail, it feels like a stock Duramax. There's no benefit of doing this coilover lift. The two main areas I've found it shines is in high speed applications and in low speed crawling with the sway bars disconnected. So in high speed applications, this thing absorbs basically everything. With a little bit of weight in the box, it squishes down and it's able to go over, I'd say, foot and a half whoops, bumps, potholes, and everything in the cab. You do not feel it. And let me tell you, if you try to do it in a stock Duramax, you will break something, either your body or the truck. The suspension is very impressive, very adjustable, high and low speed adjusters, so it allows you to do some pretty fun stuff that a truck this size should not do. Now, on the low speed end of things, I've found it is most impressive when the sway bars are disconnected. It allows the front A-arms to move independently as the suspension's meant to do, and you get a lot of flex out of it and a lot of travel. Now, I believe this coilover conversion kit gains, I believe it's 4 or 5 inches of additional travel, so it allows you to crawl over a lot of uneven terrain and not feel it in the cab. It makes it really comfortable, and really it makes it a lot nicer to sit in the truck going on those long overland trips, if that's what you're doing. Yeah, that's about all I have to say, guys, about the Duramax. Short and sweet version. If you just want to lift a truck and you want it to look good, and some gravel roads, a bit of using it on the road, towing with it, just get a normal lift kit. It's not worth it. There's really no benefit of doing this if you're not going to be doing some off-road stuff. But if you're planning to use your Duramax for trails, off-road, crawling, mud, really uneven terrain, whether that's going down an old lease road that's really rough all the time, or if you're like me and you like going out and exploring and adventuring, then yeah, I'd say this lift kit's worth it. Can you do a lot of this stuff with a stock Duramax or a normal lift kit? Some of it, but you're gonna find you're gonna get driving fatigue after a while. In a torsion bar suspension setup, you're also gonna have a lot less contact patch. So when right now with the suspension on the Duramax, my A-arms can come down and gain traction touching the ground, where I found with the torsion bar setup,
I found I had tires off the ground a lot more, which resulted in me not being able to climb up a lot of things. So there's my honest review of it. Yeah, if you're going to be off-roading, I think it's worth it. If you like going fast and playing around in the trails, it's worth it. It's very durable. It drives straight after all this abuse I've put it through, and yeah, I don't regret doing this coilover conversion one bit. So yeah, that's gonna be about it for the Duramax for the summer. The rest of the videos are gonna be in the Jeep, which is what I'm driving right now, and some of the work I did to it. And we're gonna be hitting up some trails and showing you guys what this thing's capable of. So make sure you stay around for that, because I've been driving this thing for about a year and I'm still thoroughly impressed with it. See you in the next one, guys.